Owen, tell me something.
Man, fuck clipping.
Dahm, that's true.
What's the point of chapters? We don't need people to be able to find
Right.
stuff.
All right, I don't do it. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Dahm. That's true. Of course, I'm your host of the most, Truman Steam Machine Steen. As always, I'm joined by the bomb.
I'm back.
Oh, and Dahm, the clipper himself, the person who actually clips the show, instead of the person who just writes down, I'm going to clip this later, and never does. Shout out everybody who listened to last week's episode, even though it didn't have any chapters on it, because I forgot.
Truman pranked me because I went. So how this normally works is Monday I go home, and then Tuesday night after I do whatever chores I have to do, mow the lawn, whatever, I hop on my computer and I pull up the YouTube and I see whatever witty, goofy thing Truman has posted, like, haha, tell Owen he sucks if he didn't clip this. But I hop in on Tuesday and I see it's Truman this time. I'm gonna clip it later, and I'm like, oh. Truman's doing his whole episode by himself. So I don't text him. I don't talk to him about it. And I just leave it. Then we walk in to start the episode. I'm like, yeah, I thought that joke was funny. And Truman turns to me and he goes, oh, yeah, I forgot to clip. To which I can't reprimand him for because I've definitely never done that.
It was in that moment I realized I forgot to clip.
One of the last 3 weeks episodes definitely didn't get clipped on a Thursday or anything after the podcast had been up for a full 24 hours. That's for sure.
I had a fucking busy week, all right? I had a lot of shit. See, the issue was Tuesday night, I recorded that episode in like an hour, and then we immediately went and saw a movie with friends.
Yeah.
Like, Tina cooked, and I like went up there and just like swallowed down food. And then we immediately went to a movie with friends.
Which movie did you see?
The Phoenician Scheme?
Oh, that was the one.
No, sorry. We saw The Materialist on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we saw The Phoenician Scheme.
The Materialist is the dating one, and Phoenician Scheme is the
Wes Anderson one.
Is it any good?
It's fine. It's funny. A lot of people will say, like, oh, Marvel movies are just popcorn movies. They're just slop.
Right.
I kind of feel that way about the last couple Wes Anderson films, where you go and you're like,
there's no real plot.
That didn't really make me feel anything. And I don't feel like it had a point per se, but it's so stylized and it is fun, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Also, big apology to Evan on the Evan Shanalak. He apparently texted me on Tuesday. It was like, hey, like Tuesday morning, he was like, hey, when are you going to see The Phoenician Scheme? And then I just went, it never responded, and then I just went and saw it Wednesday night without him.
Donut walled, bro. Poor Evan.
Brutal.
All right, but so episode 252. This time I'm going to be grading Truman's takes as we go through these. As we go through Truman's 108 takes, because the engineer was bad at math.
I don't know even how I was just like pushing them out, and I don't know how I somehow backwards mathed my way into doing extra takes.
See, the thing is, it's harder to get 100 takes than you think. But once you get to 100, I think it's easy to go past it.
I think the way I was counting it, it should have been easier for me to miscount it high.
Framps is also upset that you didn't invite him to see Phoenician Scheme.
But I miscounted it low. I also wanted to see the Phoenician Scheme. Well, Framps went and saw the movie with me on Tuesday, and we went and saw the movie on Wednesday, and it's not $5 movies on Wednesday, so I would have felt bad.
True. Anyway, things I'm not going to feel bad about. Truman's takes about the AFC East. Okay, so first one, Josh Allen rushes for under 500 yards. That's fine. I think it's a coin toss. It could be either he probably needs to be a better pocket passer if they want to win.
I think his body's going to start to break down.
Probably.
Like
Joey Bosa is the next Von Miller situation. Absolutely. He's an aging defensive end who's injury prone. He's going to get injured again. Dolphins. Okay, moving on to the Dolphins. Tyreek misses 4+ games. Yep, he's always in some kind of trouble/injury situation. Yep. McDaniels is fired at the end of the year. Yeah, I like it. If they miss the playoffs, he's fired.
I think if Tyreek isn't playing, I think they fail, and I think they miss the playoffs, and I think the clock runs out on them.
Absolutely. I think he'll get fired if they miss the playoff. Jets, Fields look like the answer. I agree. I think we talked about this when the trade happened. I think it's a good idea. They make the wild card spot. Don't like this one.
I have like 9-8 making the wild. I have like them beating out.
It could be close.
I think I have them beating out the Pats for a wild card.
You think they break the longest active playoff drought in major sports?
They're due.
Ugh. I don't know. Actually, I don't think it's not the longest active in sports because I think there's like a dumpster fire MLB team that's made it longer
That's a good question.
out of the major 5. But they're definitely the longest playoff drought in the NFL. Okay, moving on to the Pats. Lose the wild card spot to the Jets on tiebreakers. I can see that happening.
Well, because I think the Buffalo Sabres made it this year, which I think was the
yeah.
second one.
I think that was the last one. Drake May, 4,000 yards passing. Moves and past Caleb Williams. That's fine. Okay, moving on to AFC North. Bengals.
The New York Jets are the longest. Actually, they're at 14, and it says the Buffalo Sabres are still at 14.
They definitely made the playoffs recently.
I thought they did, but maybe they didn't make them. Maybe I'm lying.
Oh no, it was Buffalo Sabres players that improved teams.
I don't think so. All right, keep going.
Yeah, Bengals lose 10 games. I can see this happening. They have no defense, and have they figured out that defensive player yet?
No, still not signed.
Holy shit. Zach Taylor finally fired. Yeah, probably. If they miss the playoffs.
The fucking Bengals love to just not ever fire their people.
Who was that guy before?
Marvin Lewis.
Yes.
I even said he might become the new Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, he deserved to be fired 5 years before he did.
The Jets and the Sabres are tied. Apparently, they didn't make it. So
interesting. Okay.
The Los Angeles Angels haven't made it since they got swept by the Royals either.
Oh. Holy shit, with the best player in baseball. Moving on to the Browns.
Always hurt.
Shader starts more than half their games. I think that's reasonable. And Pickett starts week 1. I think that's probable. For the Ravens, DeAndre Hopkins under 500 yards, absolute slam dunk. He's done. Ravens.
I said anybody in that jersey looks washed.
Oh, absolutely. Ravens win the division. Absolutely. Steelers go 9-8. Terrible take.
You had them going 9-8.
I'm sure. I'm not going to be able to help myself with the Steelers, Truman.
I know, but they've got Aaron Rodgers. He's the answer.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has 9-8.
If you want to bring up ayahuasca consumption.
Aaron Rodgers is 9-8 written all over him.
Will Howard starts 2 games? Absolutely. Aaron Rodgers tweaks his pinky or something, and then Will Howard starts.
Yep.
I can see that happening. Okay, AFC South now. Anthony Richardson cut after the season. Starts less than half the games. Absolutely. Dude doesn't want to be there or play football. Mm-hmm. Listen, football is a very dangerous game, and it's super rough on your body. So if you want to play football, you have to love the game. And he just doesn't seem like he loves football.
And he's a huge guy, but he was one of the guys that pulled himself out of the game.
Yeah.
He was I'm tired.
Listen, I get it. It sucks. You get hit by a truck. There's a reason why Andrew Luck retired himself.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's going to be done because you got to be insane. And I don't think he's insane enough for the NFL. Daniel Jones is the starter for 2026. I don't know about that. I think they brought in Jones because they know Richardson is going to be missing games. But I don't know if Daniel Jones is good enough for a start. I think he's terrible.
I think he plays well enough to get signed for next year to be the quarterback that mentors whoever they draft.
Sure, yeah, because he's quarterback 25?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wouldn't say he's a bottom 5 quarterback, but he's definitely not top half.
He's probably bottom 5 quarterback, but
maybe.
Right.
Jags win division. I see a lot of people having this take. 11-6. I see a lot of people saying it can't possibly get worse for the Jags. They're going to turn it around. We'll see. I know they had a lot of injury. I think they were one of the most injured teams last year. So we'll see what happens. Trevor answers some questions and looks like a top 10 QB. Now that's spicy. I think this is a guy that can do it. Maybe that's the white quarterback tax hitting me there. That's
got to be racist.
But I think Trevor Lawrence could do it. We'll see.
It's funny you say that, though, the white quarterback tax, because that has been a real thing for a long time.
Yeah, the NFL media is way softer on white quarterbacks than they have been on black quarterbacks.
And they're way quicker to anoint them. But I would say over half the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL are probably black, I would say.
Well, yeah.
Right? You put Lamar.
Yeah.
I would put Jaden Daniels. I'd put C.J. Stroud. Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts. Top
Jalen
10
Hurts.
at least. Probably 10, but...
That's 5.
And then your other top quarterbacks are going to be, Stafford, Burrow, Allen?
Stafford, Burrow, Allen, Goff. People have been putting
Goff, Herbert. Nice 50-50 split.
Baker gets in there sometimes.
Well, he's not exactly white.
Baker got too much swagger. All right.
Well, remember those tweets when there was that one dancing video that he did in Cleveland, and everyone was like, "Oh, best black quarterback in the NFL."
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Those were so fucking goofy, man.
All right.
The only reason the Yeah, no, I'm just gonna move on. That shit was goofy though. On the Texans, C.J. Stroud bounces back to his old numbers. I disagree. I think C.J. Stroud is in for a slump.
Another slump, not just the sophomore slump.
But I like where your head's at because theoretically the Texans have a really strong offense. But we've seen this before. People with expectation. We'll see. Wild card team at 10-7. Absolutely, the AFC is stacked. It's going to be tough for outsiders out of the teams that made this last playoffs to get in. Like it's going to be like Bengals, Chargers, Texans, Jets, Pats, all fighting for that wild card spot. It's going to be It's going to be tough. Titans. Cam Ward wins Rookie of the Year. I think that's likely. I think that's kind of a safe take. I think he's definitely the most talented of the draft class, which is why he went number one overall.
I think I said that. It's not a hot take to pick the number one overall pick who was a quarterback to win offensive rookie of the year.
We'll see, though, because once again, we all agree that Shadier, although it was funny that he dropped in the draft, does have talent. Mm-hmm. So there's a candidate there for sure. We'll see. Mm-hmm. And that apparently that Colorado wide receiver that's not
Travis Hunter.
Not him. The other one that went top 10.
No idea.
No, not top 10.
Not another one.
No, not top 10, but went to the Jags. That wasn't Travis Hunter, was it?
That was Travis Hunter.
Well, who am I thinking of? There's another Colorado.
No other Colorado wide receiver.
Yes, there was. Colorado wide receivers drafted. Jimmy Horn Jr.
Oh. Who?
The Ravens are really excited about him.
The Panthers? He got drafted in the 6th
Did
round.
AI just lie to me?
Yeah. Jimmy Horn Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got drafted by the Panthers.
It was a lexical. I missed the ellipsis. Mm-hmm. It said, LeJontay Wester and Jimmy Horn Jr. ... Okay, yeah. Jimmy Horn by the Panthers. Yeah, I've been hearing that people think that he can, be a starter.
I guess.
And by people, I mean I saw one article from ESPN. But, yeah. We'll see. L'Jarius Sneed cut before season starts. Are you insane? What? Did he fall off a cliff that I didn't know about?
Just weird injury issues and things like that.
That's really spicy. I don't know about they're cutting their $1 billion corner, Truman.
Just letting you know.
All right, moving on to the NFC East. Jalen Daniels has a sophomore slump. Spelled sophomore wrong. That's fine.
I know I did. I put FT, didn't I?
Yes, sophomore.
Yes. Sophomore.
He's kind of in the CJ Stroud situation. With great expectation comes great pressure. We'll see.
In my defense, I didn't think anybody else was ever going to be reading these notes, so I would have changed it.
That's fine. No, I'm just making fun of you. Commanders win a soft division. Are we sure the Eagles got worse?
Yes. Yes, I am.
They got worse, but
they lost a lot of their defense, lost a couple of players on offense.
We'll see, dude.
And it's fucking time for Nick Sirianni to do that other side of the coin where he's fucking terrible for no reason again.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
A fucking douchebag.
Good point. Moving on to the Cowboys. Dak can't stay healthy again. Shocker. Slam dunk take.
Much like the city of Philadelphia himself, Nick Sirianni has good days and bad days. But the bad days are really bad.
Speaking of Philadelphia, I saw there was a TikTok that I saw today. It was about dads telling kids, "Oh, hey, don't forget to eat the crust. It's the healthiest part of the bread." And it's just same as regular bread.
Sure.
But then the dude looked it up. I'll send you the TikTok. It's to the up theme. It's kind of fun. But then someone was like, yeah, I went around telling my dad told me that Benjamin Franklin invented the Philly cheesesteak, and I went around telling people that for 20 years before someone told me that he didn't.
Well, bro, that's I told you, I've been calling the Liberty Memorial the Washington Memorial for the last couple bit. And it took somebody to be like, I don't think that's the name of it. And I was like, oh my God, I've been saying that for 3 months for some reason. I was like, why did I get that in my head that was the Washington Memorial?
But yeah, Commanders win a soft division. We'll see. That's really hot. I like it though. I already said I can't say healthy again. I already said that. Pickens for under 700 yards. I love that. Once again, camp cancer.
Yeah, I think so.
And Dak is already bad, so. I'm just kidding. Dak is not that bad. When healthy, he's a top 10 quarterback. Everyone likes to forget his stats. But once again, a lot of garbage time. Yeah. This is why I think, quick aside here, that you cannot ignore the wins stat when debating quarterbacks.
Sure.
Because you can talk about stats all you want, but Like, for example, when people talk about Kirk Cousins being a fantasy quarterback, like top 3, on a lot of those teams, he would like mount a comeback with like 2 touchdowns in garbage time, but you can't realistically expect them to get the onside kick a second time, you know?
Right. Yes. Wins aren't a QB stat, but they are.
But they can't be ignored.
They can be like a spot check. They can be a reference.
Like a bellwether.
Yeah, it can be a double check where you're like, well, how bad are they, or how good are they? It's like they don't have a lot of wins. They're probably not elite, and if they haven't lost a ton, they're also probably not as bad as you're making them out.
It's
to be.
like
It's kind
for
of
what it's
check.
worth is something that I use when people say, "Oh, Josh Allen's better than Patrick Mahomes." It's like, yeah, that's fine. And you can say, "Oh, the Bills are better than the Chiefs," but when it's time to beat the Chiefs, Josh Allen can't do it.
Everybody's better than Mahomes when it's time to beat
The thing is
Mahomes.
that has to count for something. You can't just ignore that. That has to count for something.
Right.
So yeah, all that to say, Pickett's for under 700 yards. I agree.
Yes.
Eagles missed the playoffs on a Super Bowl hangover. Absolutely, they're destined to do this. Hurts injured on a tush push. Now that's spicy.
You like that? A little spice to it. Listen,
I
am not
can't
rooting for anybody to get hurt
Of course
on the
not.
tush push.
I still can't believe it didn't get banned. Because once again, if you can't push a defensive player, why could you push an offensive player?
Failed by 2 teams voting. It had to be 24-32. Went 22-32. Some like 2 teams backed out at the end.
Yeah, they probably abstained or something.
Yeah, something stupid.
I don't like the tush push, not because the Eagles are good at it, because I don't think it's a football
cannot
play.
push a defensive. If you push the defensive player into them, they would be in trouble.
Yeah, it's a
And
flag.
that's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
it
it's
also
dumb.
would probably hurt a lot of people.
I mean, once again, it is really annoying. Like, I don't hate it because the Eagles are good at it. Like, I don't know, figure out a way. But it's
Get
it's
that
not fair.
fucking 400-pound guy from Florida, and then just put Chris Jones behind him and have Chris Jones fucking ram his shoulder into his butt. See what happens.
On the offense?
Yeah.
That's
No, on the defense. No,
a what if, you know?
to stop him. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the Giants. Jackson Dart doesn't start. Wow, say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. Right.
More than one game, looks like a bust. I love it. I think he's so incredibly raw. He looks like Mahomes with less talent, if you know what I mean. Like, because Mahomes was like obviously making mistakes in college. And you're like, oh, you know, this guy's footwork like is horrible, but
when
he
puts it
makes these
together,
dazzling
he throws
plays.
these Insane. Yeah.
Jackson Dart
Just
doesn't
bad.
make those. He looks like
He looks bad and overwhelmed, and you're like,
He looks
"That's
like-
a little weird."
I'm trying to think of a baseball example, like guys who are like athletic freaks, and you're like, okay, we can teach this guy how to quarterback.
Right.
Like he looks like, you know, your average like high school pitcher that throws 91 but wild, and college coaches are like, okay, we can coach this guy.
Yeah.
That's what they see in Jackson Dart. He's like what 6'6". He's just a big as fuck.
Yeah.
That's
No,
his-
I don't even know if he's that big, but yeah. He's athletic though.
Yeah. Scatabo goes for 800 yards. I like this one. I think he's a change of pace back, like a
Yeah, Jackson
Darren
Dart,
Sproles.
6'2", by the way.
Damn, he's nowhere. This guy's gonna be ass.
Yeah.
Scatabo goes for 800 yards. I love that. You know, change of pace back, just what the Giants need. Some wild card,
Real lunch pail guy, real first in, last out kind of guy, real gym rat.
but he is a change of pace guy. Like that is what he is.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not just giving him the white
He's a real
superlatives.
bruiser. He's really
A real bruiser, real maniac.
guy. Yeah.
Bears, Caleb Williams, 4,000 yard passing. You know the Bears are.
I'll do it for you.
You know the Bears are allowed to have a 4,000 yard passer. Only team in the NFL has never done it, by the way. That's hilarious. Hilarious. By the way, the Browns' last quarterback to pass for 4,000 yards. Do you know who that is?
The what?
Do you know
Browns.
yeah.
Baker.
No.
That would have been. Really?
Baker has passed for 4,000 yards after leaving the Browns.
Brandon Whedon?
It's some dude from the fucking 60s, man. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna Google it. I'll let you keep going.
I don't know. Someone made one of those TikToks like with the never has done it. Then I
Uh-huh.
looked through other teams. I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Yeah, his picture looks ancient. Bears go 9-8, missed the playoffs. Love that. Typical Bears. I might pick.
Ryan Sipe in 1980.
Yeah.
Threw for 4,100 yards.
Yeah. 80. That's 45 years ago. Damn, we're old. Bears go 9-8, miss the playoffs. Love that. I would personally have them at 7-10 or 8-9.
You know the last Jets player to throw for over 4,000 yards? I've got the whole list now.
Is it Mark Sanchez or is it Chad Pennington?
No.
Is it someone dumber than what?
It's the most famous jet of all.
Oh my gosh, no, it's not.
It's Broadway Joe Namath.
Oh my. Name in 50?
I'll see if there's a more.
It's like Super Bowl 3, right? Didn't they back to back like 2-3 or something?
Yeah, no, they didn't back to back. It was 3. Yeah, and they shouldn't have even won. Last Cardinals player to throw for it.
Is it Palmer?
It is Palmer. Great job. All right, sorry, I'll let you keep going.
Kyler's never thrown for 4,000 yards?
No. Last Eagles player to do it?
McNabb?
You'll like this. No, it's Carson Wentz. Not
That
Jalen
is
Hurts.
funny.
Oh, God, the last. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, I was like, who the fuck is that? Oh, it's Brian Sipe again. Or Sipe. Whoever it is.
He did it. For the Bears?
For the Browns. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're like, what logo is that? That's what I said, too. Okay, moving on to Lions. Lions stay healthy or win the division. Slam. I love that. I think the Vikings aren't ready yet, but I think that if I'm a Vikings fan, I'm happy right now because you want to be developing when other teams are at their peak because you don't want to have to compete. What did you just see? What did you just see?
Somebody said the last time the Browns had a good quarterback, Hitler was still alive. Sorry. That's insane to say.
I mean,
that's got to be racist.
Is he wrong?
Hey, shoot that guy.
That's what Hitler was saying to himself.
Can't
Aiden
kill
Hutchinson
myself,
wins.
that's the meat killer. All right. Go on.
Wins comeback player of the year. Yeah, I like that. Yep. Lions are Super Bowl pick. I also like that. They shat the bed in every conceivable spot, including quarterback play, O-line play, D-line play.
And everybody was hurt.
And everybody died. I don't think that's going to happen again.
That sounds like if they stay half.
But I think this is like one or two of the last Lions windows.
Yeah.
It's closing rapidly on them.
I kind of think that the Texans window is shut. That's kind of the same way I feel about. Like they kind of went all in last year, and now Diggs is gone, and he didn't work out, and they brought in a couple
and Dell.
And it's like, yeah, and Dell's probably out all year. It's like, our window just got a little weird.
If I'm in the AFC, I am shipping my draft
weird
picks.
right now.
Yeah. Say, hey Owen, you just took over. I don't know, the worst team in the AFC. You just took over the Titans. What are your plans? Okay, draft Cam Ward. I like it. Sell everybody else.
Yeah, right. Besides L'Jarius Sneed.
Punt for 2 years. You're not competing in this AFC.
No.
Lamar, Josh, Burrow, Mahomes. You're not competing.
No. All right. Keep going.
Yeah, just sell everybody. For the Packers, Golden is wide receiver 1. Yeah.
Obviously.
Once again, the Packers just kind of have nobody, which is weird. But yeah, Love gets them to a wild card spot, 11-6. Yeah, they'll have a weaker schedule. I like that. Vikings, JJ McCarthy looks like a real start in the league. I agree. We saw the very small glimpse, but it looked like a good glimpse. And what's the Packers head coach name? What's his name? I mean the Vikings coach. What's his name?
Kevin O'Connell.
Yes.
Cock.
O'Connell has shown that he can make even Sam Darnold look good. So
Yep.
I'm sure that he can make J.J. McCarthy look good as well, which is crazy because I thought McCarthy was going to be the biggest bust maybe ever. He seems like he's okay.
Yeah.
It turns out the NFL scouts might know what they're doing.
Well, if you let any player develop and have the balls to fucking sit them, sometimes they develop.
Yep, sometimes it works out.
Yeah.
Wild card spot in 10-7. Yeah, I like that. I think the Vikings are going to surprise some people this year. Bucks. Baker has the best contract in the league. Will continue to provide value on it. Yep, absolutely. Outside of Mahomes, Baker does have the best contract in the league. Bucks win a weak division. Yeah, that division's ass. Right. Falcons. Penix has some growing pains. Throws for 3,000. I like that. Neither of the Falcons' first-round defensive draft picks hit. Ooh, that's super spicy.
Baker has a 3-year, $100 million contract. So he's got like a $33 million a year.
So they're using quarterback evaluations from 2012.
Right. It's like, that's perfect. So
Yeah.
It's like $33 million a year is fucking awesome.
And Baker just wanted a contract, so he'll sign that. But Baker's done pretty good for himself.
2 more years worth of it, so.
That's crazy, though. Truman, Georgia defensive players seem to be doing pretty well, but Tennessee players outside of Trey Smith.
You just don't know how to fucking evaluate that Tennessee defensive line is the issue. That's the thing.
Yeah, I agree. Panthers, Bryce Young unfortunately fails his cut at the end of the year. I am looking to see Bryce Young improve. Unfortunately, the Panthers are probably the worst organization at helping those players. I can see that happening. Ted McMillan goes for 1,000 yards, Malik Neighbors style.
Yeah, where it's like
Best player on a bad team?
yeah, where like Malik Neighbors I think went for like 1,000 yards last year, and you're like that was a terrible Giants team. It's like Giants quarterbacks probably together all had 3,800 yards, and somehow 1,500 of them went to Malik Neighbors or whatever.
Turk Wharton disappoints on his 3-year contract. Yeah, I think that's probably likely just because the Panthers suck.
It's more than I thought, but it's
like,
also a little less than I thought.
Is it 47?
It's 45. I thought it was 3 years 54. It was 3 years 45, but still, that's a lot.
That's a lot for a role player that they're now paying as a starter.
Right. He was just a role player. Yeah.
He was good, but he was not. He didn't correct the starters.
Yeah.
Saints.
Malik Neighbors had 1,200 yards last year, by the way.
That's insane. That's so on a 3-win team. That's insane. Saints. Shuck. Holy shit. Horrible. Proves to be a worse QB than Sanders. Absolutely, he's gonna be horrible. Alvin Kamara.
Their entire team passed for 32-28.
And he had 1,200 of them?
Yes.
That's insane. Kamara traded at the deadline? Yeah, I agree. It's time for the Saints to punt. Harder with his 2-year deals. That is basically guaranteed. Yeah.
He does have basically guaranteed 2 years.
Someone's going to overpay. Someone's running back's going to get hurt. Look for the Ravens to overpay.
Could be like a first-round draft pick, second.
Ooh, the Bengals.
Like Chiefs, Bills.
No, the Bengals don't do that.
Ravens, like a late first round, somebody who expects to be drafting late in the first round or early in the second round.
Yeah, the Chiefs could be a landing point. The Chiefs do like to take a chance on older Saints guys.
God, I love fucking Alvin Kamara. Oh my God.
I'll do it again.
Sorry.
If Alvin Kamara is a Chief, I'll get his jersey. No, he's gonna sign for the Chiefs. Let's go.
100%.
Moving on to the NFC West. 49ers. Christian McCaffrey goes for 2,000 all-purpose. If he stays healthy, that's not a bad take at all.
Sure.
Nothing else goes on with the offense, and they missed the playoffs. Yeah, it's Brock Purdy.
Dude, if you go back and listen to the show, I could not, for like a minute, I could not think of Brock Purdy's name.
It happens sometimes.
I was just like, he's just a fucking white guy. I don't fucking know what his fucking thing is.
Janitors' names are lost.
Yes, thank you, yes.
Moving on to the Cardinals, Kyler Murray looks like a top 10 QB. Yep, love it. As long as he stays healthy, I think the Mighty Mouse can do it. Wild card spot earner. Okay.
I know
so Vikings and Cardinals, wild card spot. I like that. Moving on to the Rams. Stafford finally falls off a cliff. Yep, it's about time. But once again, old white quarterbacks find a way to just be good enough. See Big Ben, see Tom Brady. Yeah! Well, Tom Brady's obviously an exception. See Big Ben, see Carson Palmer, see
Joe Biden.
Joe
white
Biden.
Guys that are old white guys that just do enough to get it done, honestly.
Obviously. That's what we were talking about. Sean McVay retires with Stafford. Retires? You're insane. He's like, is he even 40? He's not retiring.
Going to the booth. They talked about he almost retired like last year.
What?
Yeah.
No way. We'll see. No way.
Just to retire to go to the booth just long enough until a certain coach in Kansas City retires, so then he can come back.
First it was Tomlin, now it's McVay.
Is 39 years old.
He's not retiring.
I would take either one of them in Kansas City, and one of them will be the next head coach of the Chiefs. You heard it here first.
McVay or Tomlin?
100%.
All right, I like that. That's fun. Darnold wins this division. That is oddly weak. That's crazy. The Seahawks? No way. You know me. I'm a Seahawks hater. I narrowly missed on my Seahawks hate last year, but they're just so mid. That's crazy. Beat Vikings in a round. Oh, no.
The revenge game?
Oh.
The revenge game?
That is
the
fun.
Sam Darnold revenge game? Crazy.
No, I'm going the opposite. If this happens, it's Sam Darnold throws 4 picks against the Vikings defense, and everyone's like, yeah.
God damn it. He did it again.
That's what I see happening.
Yep.
Bronocos. They win.
Did I fucking spell it wrong? God damn it.
The AFC West time.
Big fan of the
Bronocos. They win less games than last year. Absolutely. I think they overperformed. Bo Nix is worse this year. Absolutely. I think he overperformed. It will feel like a failure of a year. Absolutely. I think they overperformed last year. I think they set their expectations too high.
100%.
Yes, they almost beat the Chiefs, but that's the weakest Chiefs team we've seen in a while, and you couldn't do it. Haha. Chargers, wildcard team. Yeah, that's all. That's their ceiling. O'Marion Hampton rushes for 1,000. We'll see.
I think
Joe Alt is good. Oh, but yeah,
Jim
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh's just gonna feed him.
Yeah, he's a pound the rock kind of guy. I like that take now that you said that. Herbert throws for 4,035. Yeah, sounds right. Chargers defense going to be the problem. But, yeah, I mean, second year with Harbaugh, quarterback guy, was a quarterback himself.
Yeah.
Both, Big Ten legends, Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, Big Ten legends. Yeah. Jim Harbaugh. Yeah.
Raiders, better than last year. I mean, they've got to be, right? Geno throws, yeah. I think Geno is a good acquisition for them. The Raiders are doing what I would do if I was their GM.
Put together a fine team and then compile picks.
Yes.
And get younger and get cheaper and then rebuild.
They need to sell Max, but I think Max likes being a Raider too much.
Yes.
Which is a shame because they should try to package him for a first rounder.
God.
Missed the playoffs, but beat the Chiefs once. I love that. The Chiefs are due to drop one. Stupid the Raiders. We haven't done that in a while.
Yep.
Okay, that concludes the AFC West outside of the Kansas City Chiefs.
The whole NFL outside of the AFC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Outside of the Chiefs.
Now time to move on to the Kansas City Chiefs. 20 picks. Josh Simmons, week 1 starter. Absolutely, he's going to be. Which sucks for Jalen Moore. Congratulations, you're back up again. Jalen Moore will be a starter on this offensive line by the end of the season.
Just good fit in. Somebody gets banged up, or Jawan Taylor just isn't good enough.
Do you think they pack?
Or we have fucking left tackle
they try-
issues again.
They try
Who
to
knows?
they try to teach him to move somewhere else. I like that. Chiefs offensive line is in a better position than it was last year. Has to be.
I think it
agree.
is. I think last year we were like, well, we're throwing 2 young guys at the left tackle position. Somebody will figure it out. No. And now we have a guy that we're like, he can probably be at least a league average tackle. And then we drafted a guy who could be the fucking GOAT. So
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Jalen Royals goes for under 500 yards. So you're Jackie battling him right now.
Yes, he's gonna be a normal guy. He's fine. Like, because rookie receivers don't even. How many yards do you think Xavier Worthy went for?
He went for like 683.
Exactly. You think Jalen Royals is 80%?
Okay, but I also think one of the reasons why Worthy didn't do better than 683 is because he had to be the number 1 guy after Rashee Rice got hurt.
Sure.
And so he couldn't play his role. We'll see. We'll see. Listen. I don't think it's crazy for you to label him
He
a
has
Jackie
at
Battle
least
candidate.
3 wide receivers ahead of him. And it depends on how you feel about Juju Smith-Schuster that he might have 4 ahead of him.
Truman, I'd like to start a new segment right now. We're going to call it the Truman-Steen Jackie Battle of the Year. And you are going to choose somebody before the season, in the middle of the season, and at the end of the season who fits the Truman-Steen Jackie Battle of the Year candidate.
Yeah. Last year's
Or as
Jackie
Carrington Harrison likes to say, first team all training camp.
Last year's Jackie Battle candidate, by the way, probably, honestly, the way it ended up, Kingsley Suamataia.
Yep.
We all got too hyped up on him. But me and Owen, we saw him flying Southwest. We should have known that he wasn't going to be good. We should have known. We saw him flying Southwest.
Yikes. Rashee Rice, not suspended. I agree.
Not for this year, at least.
I don't think he'll be suspended. Rashee Rice goes for over 1,500 yards. 1,500 is a lot.
A lot. It's a lot.
What if, though? That'd be cool.
But
I
it
would
comes back
enjoy
in
that.
with the next one.
Omar Norman-Lott has 6 sacks.
Not that one. Sorry. There's one later on. Sorry. Keep going.
Omar Norman-Lott, 6 sacks. I mean, that's right around the
Ooh,
George
I feel
level.
a
He's
little
thinking,
weird right now.
George had like exactly 5?
Yes, I think I even brought up George Karlaftis, where it was like he came on late and he figured it out. And Omar Norman-Lott might be, it's like he might be a rotational piece that only comes in on pass rushing downs, but it's like that is what he was in college and what he could certainly,
And with
what we should be
Amenahue,
bringing him in to do.
fully healing.
Yeah, fully good to go.
He could be in that Turk Wharton spot
Like
where he just
Dana.
benefits from Chris Jones and
Yeah.
yeah,
I wonder how much.
possibly. Chris Jones does not lead the team in sacks. Yeah, I think he's declining, but I also think his role doesn't contribute to him racking up a bunch of sacks anymore. Because I think teams have found out that they have to double team him.
Turk Wharton had 6.5 sacks. Did you know that?
That sounds about right. The Chiefs did a lot of committee stuff last year.
Sure.
I mean, what? Freaking Trent McDuffie had like 2 sacks, right?
Yeah, that sounds.
Because we were like clowning him that he had more. Because people were clowning him that he had more sacks than picks.
Well, it's because like L'Jarius Sneed always
had like 3 or 4.
Always a great rusher. Yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco does not lead the team in rushing yards. Who do you think? You think Kareem Hunt's beating him? Maybe.
Here's players with multiple sacks last year: Drew Tranquil, FAU, Mike Pennell, Nick Bolton, Mike Dana, Chris Jones, Turk Warden, and George Karlaftis. So no, Trey McDuffie only had half a sack last year. You might have had one in the playoffs, though.
I was just sneezing because I was so excited to hear that FAU had more than 1 sack.
Joshua Williams had a sack last year.
My God.
Yeah, FAU had 2.5.
I'm just saying that's just, upward trajectory.
And that's a regular season. Doesn't even count. I think he had a postseason one.
Yeah, it's just,
My goat.
Yeah, obviously. Isaiah Pacheco does not lead the team in rushing yards, like we were saying. I don't like that. I don't want that to be the case.
No,
but
I don't want that.
My heart says no. My head says yes. That you're correct. Elijah Mitchell doesn't make it out of Chiefs camp. Yes, he'll be the practice squad guy, just like Melvin Gordon. Elijah Mitchell doesn't. Oh wait, I just read that. Hello. FAU's options not picked up. Have to agree. Unless he gets 5 sacks this year, they'll pick up that option. If he doesn't get 5 sacks, he's unfortunately gone.
He's got to be top 4 on the team in sacks.
He's on the hottest seat on the team. Xavier Worthy goes for 900 all-purpose. Absolutely. Turns into a mix of McCole Hardman, Tyreek Hill. Has us saying feed him more and feed him less at the same time.
Well, it was like McCole Hardman got a bunch of those like jet sweeps. And for as good as Tyreek Hill and as fast as he was, we didn't jet sweep him much.
He wasn't that. Yeah, I feel like Tyreek wasn't that good at the jet sweep.
No, but McCole Hardman was good at it and was always in that role, and I feel like they're going to do that to Xavier Worthy plenty.
Yeah, I could see that. Travis Kelce goes for 1,000 yards again. Taylor's got him on that healthy diet.
I think I might have even wrote it on there. I said Mike Evans style.
You did say Mike Evans style.
Yeah, I think they feed him enough till he gets 1,000, and that they're like, all right, fucking great career, Trav, thank you.
Then Patrick goes for over 5,000 yards. Wow, Chiefs, like you're buying into the Chiefs revenge tour.
Yeah, even though it's a Matt Nagy led offense, I still think that they could get there. Yeah, I think fully healthy Rashee Rice, an actual left tackle, somebody who can actually play left tackle. I think Mahomes hasn't had a real left tackle in a couple years, and I think if you put a real left tackle there, he will throw for 5,000 yards.
Yeah. I think it's been a combination of the left tackle and the wide receiver room that's been holding Mahomes back. It would just
shut down all this fucking nonsense, all this fucking noise about, who's the number 1 quarterback?
I just feel like if you put any other quarterback behind there, they're not throwing for 3,500 yards,
No.
Well, we'll see. Mahomes wins MVP. If he throws for 5,000 yards, absolutely he'll win the MVP. No questions asked.
Yep.
Chiefs win the division. Yep.
The Mahomes 5,000 yards was what also led me into the Rashee Rice 1,500. I think he has to have 1,500.
Yeah. You're adding up all. Yeah, you're doing what I did. You're adding up all these numbers.
Right. You're like, there's a way. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Chiefs win division. Yep. 10 straight. Wow. Wow.
That's the decade of dominance this year.
So yeah, the Chiefs are the ones upsetting the balance of the AFC West, because AFC West was one of those divisions where like each team had when the Chiefs won it for the 3rd time in a row, that had evened it up like 25, 25, 25, 25, right?
Yeah,
Or was it like 22, 22, 22, 22?
I feel like the Raiders have been the worst team like in the NFL since 2000. So
right,
hard, yeah.
but they had that.
But they did win 3 Super Bowls in the 70s. Yeah, right.
There was a point. I know 100% that there was a point. You can look up what year this was. That when the Chiefs won the division, they equalized the times won the division between all 4 teams. Like it was exactly even. And this was while the Chiefs were starting ramping up to owning the division. Hopefully you can find that for me.
AFC West. Well, technically it wasn't founded until... What hurts with the AFC West is it kind of wasn't founded until like the 1998 as we understand it now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so each other teams were winning other divisions?
Right. Well, there's like the Seahawks won it in 1988.
Right.
People are like, wait,
that's
what?
a trivia question, yeah.
Yeah, it was like the Seahawks were in it until 2000, I think.
Yeah, which is weird to think about.
So I'm trying to see if they've got like a total number. Oh, there you go. The Chiefs. Wow. Yeah, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers have each won it 15 times, and the Chiefs have won it now 17 times.
Yeah. So 3 years ago, it was all evened up, yeah.
Although that was through the 2023-2024 playoffs, so they haven't added in. Their Chiefs are now at 18. Everybody else is at 15.
Huh. Cool. Chiefs win 13 games, get number 1 seed. Love that. I think that the Chiefs had the hardest schedule in the NFL last year. Lost 2 games.
Yeah.
Really lost 1. So, yeah, I like 13 wins. That's nice and conservative. Allows the Chiefs to be the Chiefs for 2 games and hurt us.
The Cincinnati Bengals were AFC West members from 1968 to 1969. 1 season. Or 2 seasons, actually.
That's a trivia question.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Host AFC Championship game? Well, obviously. Where else is it going to be?
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers also.
Huh. That's fun.
Those are the 3 former AFC West.
Seahawks, Bengals.
That's a trivia question for all
Bucks.
y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Seahawks, Bengals, Bucks have all been in the AFC West.
That will be a trivia question on the radio at some point.
Damn. Also, the Seahawks were in the division from. Sorry, I know you want to keep moving.
No.
The Seahawks were in the division from 1977 to 2000 and only won it 2 times.
Yeah, they were pretty bummed.
And they only went to the playoffs 5 times. So they were in it for 25 years.
How many of those years were with Largent?
What?
With Largent.
Oh, I don't know.
Probably all of them. All those playoff years, probably.
Maybe, yeah.
Huh. Weird. Go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. I love it. Chiefs Revenge Tour. Moving on out of the NFL into the Royals, Bubic does not finish in the top 5 for AL Cy Young. I don't think that's crazy. Unfortunately, the AL is
sports. It's called
fucking
baseball
stacked.
in particular.
Pitchers
And
in particular.
pitchers, I guess you could say, in really particular.
It just keeps going. Bubic does not finish in the top 5. Yeah, probably.
I think he just regresses. I think he regresses back to the mean.
Well,
I think he's still going to be great.
If he regresses a little bit, he'll be out because the AL is just stacked for whatever reason.
Right.
Jack finishes the season above 250. I will be jacking off. Clip that. Yeah, above 250, absolutely. I believe
100%.
260, 270 with power.
Yeah.
Jack
Call
hits
ourselves
under
the
10
rat
home runs
freaks.
this year. No way, bro. His first homer was at his neck.
How many did I say?
You said under 10.
I think he hits under 10 home runs, yes.
What is he at right now? 3 or 4?
1.
No, he had 2 in one game.
2, sorry.
And he hasn't had a home run since that?
No. That was, to be fair, that was Saturday. No, it's Friday. No, it's Thursday. Sorry. Thursday.
Time traveling.
And he played Friday, Saturday, Sunday, didn't hit a home run.
Only 2.
Maybe didn't even have a hit.
No, he'll have more than 10 home runs.
But he did have a home run, Robert.
That's crazy.
That was good.
Bobby hits under 300. You're a criminal. You're going to jail for that. I'm not even ranking that. Royals missed the playoffs, but finished over
Shoot that
500.
guy.
Yeah, I unfortunately agree. This Royals team is really annoying, and unless we have a August and September like the 2015 team did, we're gonna miss the playoffs.
Probably, yeah. It's like maybe,
We're like,
Again, where's the coin to flip?
yeah, we're hugging 500 again.
And just because we're down, now we're back down on this downswing. It's like, okay,
Right.
we're not going to make playoffs because we're on the downswing.
Moving on to general sports, Islanders will select Michael Misa. Cannot miss chance at elite offense. That's the center you're talking
That's
about?
the center, yes, not the defender, yes.
I think that the Islanders like the offensive style more, and that's why we got rid of Barry Trotz.
Right.
So
And they just have, Barzal's been good, but he's just not an elite offense. He doesn't shoot the puck a bunch. That's why you needed Bo Horvat to come in.
Yeah.
And it's why I think they would go get another one just to fucking put Barzal on the wing. He's a wing. Let him play the
it would
wing.
be fun to have a really, really good offense. Thunder win the finals. Cash.
Yes.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Truman shot Halliburton in the Achilles tendon. If you didn't know that.
Yep, that was all me.
Oilers still win the Stanley Cup Finals.
By the time this episode had been released, it was already wrong. I said that because they were playing when I was recording the episode. I was like, they could lose in the next 2 hours and this would be wrong. That is what happened.
It was a pretty fun final,
Yes.
to be fair. Even though I watched 0 minutes of it, looking at the box scores, it seemed fun.
Still hilarious to not have a Canadian team win the cup since the 90s.
It is hilarious. Yankees actually win the World Series. Hit the button. Yes, that one. No. The Yankees fans are still going to be stuck to saying...
It's called baseball in particular.
It's so fun. I'm sorry. Sorry. Keep going.
The Yankees fans are going to continue chanting 27 at us, and all of us are going to continually point at them and laugh because the Royals have won more recently than them, which is hilarious to think about. I will allow this moment to step on my soapbox. Baseball desperately needs a salary cap. Desperately. If you want to get people to the sport. One thing that draws people into the sport is parity. No one wants to see the Dodgers and the Yankees every single year.
Sure.
But the MLB is terrified that if they don't have the Dodgers and the Yankees every single year, that ratings will go down. That
You
is
say
not
that,
the
but
case.
ironically, the MLB has had more parity than like all the other leagues for the last like 10 years.
Well, not the NHL.
It's been very odd. No, the NHL just had a back-to-back champion.
I guess that's true.
The MLB, the closest they had was like technically the Dodgers have won 2 in the last 10 years, but one of them was a COVID one.
Well,
so
Astros won like three out of 4 at one point, right?
They won
Or 3 out of 5?
2. I think they won 2. I think they won 1 legit one, 1 not legit one. Oh wait, say something about the Bills real quick. I got a new soundbite. I forgot to.
Gosh, dude, the Bills are just terrible, and I don't see why anyone picks them. I like Josh Allen.
I forgot. I was like, wait, what's this one after Rat Freaks? And I was like, oh.
Oh,
no,
the
I
rat.
gotta
We were
fucking play it.
calling ourselves the rat.
We call ourselves the Rat Freaks.
Yeah, those are the people who cheer for the Panthers, right?
Yes,
The rat.
We call ourselves the Rat Freaks. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I gotta turn up the John.
Yankees actually win the World Series. No way. Owen convinces himself the new manager for Tottenham will win them another trophy. Already done. Yeah, double press that. It's a double negative. There you go. Because you're Xing out the incorrect.
100%.
There you go.
No. It was 3 total loud incorrect buzzers. Means we're back to incorrect.
Well, no, but I agree with the take.
Wait, what?
I agree with your take. I've already convinced myself
That
that it's gonna happen. That he'll win us another trophy.
no, incorrect. Bad dog. Bad.
I don't care.
Bad.
I've already convinced
Wrong.
myself. It's already over.
Wrong.
Max Verstappen comes storming back and wins F1 again. Interesting. I don't know much about
Down.
F1.
He's in 3rd place.
I know. That's what I do know. I know that the Red Bull car is not as good this year.
I did incorrectly say that he had won the race the last week, and he had not.
Damn. Tiger never wins another major. Yeah, I have to
I don't
agree.
think that's insane to say. That's not ridiculous to say.
But
that.
once again, golf is one of those sports where you can play and be 80,000 years old. Hockey clears baseball and basketball as second best sport. I disagree.
I would say second best pro sport. Let me be clear.
That's fine. But once again, I think it all depends on whether or not your baseball team is good. If your baseball team is good, I think baseball is super fun to watch.
But there's so much of it, dude. There's so much every day.
But if your hockey team is just bad, it's still fun because hockey's just crazy to watch. Max Verstappen.
Sorry, I'm looking up the
General takes about life. Slaps is the best burnt ends in KC. Damn, that might be true. I've been having those tacos on Tuesday.
You've been doing it? You've been taking my advice? Oh, that means more.
They're so fucking good,
that means
dude.
so much to me. You don't even know.
They're so good, man.
Dude, those tacos are fucking
They're so
gas and a
fucking
half.
good.
Holy shit.
My only problem is when you go at the wrong time and the line's at the door and you have to turn around and go somewhere else because you don't have time to wait in line.
Suck, yeah.
That happened to me last Tuesday.
Yeah, Max, by the way, 43 points back. So
He can't lose to an Aussie.
I know.
Dude. Arby's clears Wendy's. Slam dunk. Wendy's is ass compared to Arby's. Only Knowers have that take, though.
I thought you were pretty pro Wendy's. I can't
No,
believe I turned you all the way around.
I had been going to Wendy's. I was not happy about it because you pay $15 for your fucking burger.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Arby's is way better. We have a
100%.
mild heat summer, only 3 days over 100. I think we've had one, so could happen. We've already passed the equinox. Days are starting to get longer.
We've not gone over 100.
Did we
Days
not?
are no longer getting longer. They're getting shorter.
Right. That's what I meant.
We have not gone over 100 yet.
I don't think we will. If we haven't by now, I don't think we will.
The heat index, I mean, what's the old Ichiro saying? August in Kansas City
it's hotter
like
than two rats fucking in a wool sock.
Yep.
The fact that Ichiro said that.
It's funny because he butchers it kind of, where he says two
Two
rats
rats.
in a fucking wool sock.
Yeah.
Which is even funny because that's not. It isn't what he meant to say, but it's funnier that way.
Your next take. Wedding guest list ends up low enough to have buffet, saving me thousands of dollars. You cutting people out?
We've got the list from 250 down to 180.
Damn, you cut 70 people.
We did like a thing where we were like rating like how likely it was that we'd invite some, like, because it was hard to be like yes, no. But if we were like, I'd put them at 60 out of 100. All right, we grub bud scaled the guest list, and then it was like, cool. Here's a clear cut point, and we did a clear cut point here, and then we were like, all right, everybody below that line, let's read it off. And we were like, yeah, that makes sense.
It does help that Tina's high school friends, it's going to be a hard no because they're in Chicago.
Essentially.
Like,
yeah,
almost all of her high school
Yeah,
friends.
that's like, and she hasn't seen them. It's like, because that's what we started to run, where it's like, well, have you seen them in a while? It's like, no, not really.
Like, would they be pissed if you didn't invite them?
There are some people that I haven't seen in a while that I'm like, I still got to invite them.
Right.
Like, I'm going to invite, like, my roommate from Albuquerque.
Yeah.
But I probably won't invite anybody else from Albuquerque, just because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I haven't seen you guys in 4 years, and technically
You don't really
year
keep
and a
up with
half
me.
of that was during COVID.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Owen switches jobs in the next year. I laughed out loud when I saw this on the list. I don't think it's a terrible take. Don't think it's a terrible take.
That's what I said. I was like, I know Owen has coworkers that listen to the show. I was like, I don't even think like he's looking per se, but it's like I just
Wouldn't be crazy. Wouldn't be
I was
crazy.
like, I feel like you're getting cabin fever.
Yeah, wouldn't be crazy. This is definitely the longest I've ever been at a job before. For a while there, I had been switching jobs every year. So having been at this one this is my 5th year. Once I get to January, I'll have been at my current job for 5 years, which doesn't really happen to me.
I've almost been at this job for 2 years, which actually is kind of surprising. The longest I've been at a job is like 2 and 3 months. So.
Yeah. Before this job, I had not had a job for more than a year and a half.
By the end of this year, it'll be the longest I've been at a job.
Yeah, crazy.
It's because I can't master it. So.
Yingling Flight is the best light beer in the game right now. I mean, Miller Lite exists, but
Miller Lite's ass.
Yeah.
I do not like Miller.
if you're dumb,
I'm not afraid to say it. Miller Lite. We were talking about that. I went to the lake with my high school buddies this weekend.
what are they drinking?
A lot of Coors Lights.
Yeah.
A lot of
people
Busch,
that
you know what? A lot of Busch Lights.
Yeah, what the flavor
Actually,
ones?
Busch Lights the most. No, just Busch Lights.
Busch Light is good.
And then a lot of Yingling Flights. We still had a bunch of Yingling Flights.
Good thing Coors, Busch, and Miller are all brewed at the same company, right?
Busch is famously not. No. Busch is famously brewed at Anheuser-Busch.
Oh, right, but Coors and Miller are the same spot, right?
Yes, they were. They might have had to break up Molson. I can't remember if Molson Coors, because it was like Miller Coors, and then it became Molson Coors, and I think they might have had to break up some of them, so they might technically have gotten like busted.
I don't know enough about beer anti-monopoly laws.
And I think Miller might still. I don't think Miller got moved to the I imagine they're the same company, but I imagine they just kept because it's such a big brewing situation
Right.
that I imagine they just kept brewing it in Milwaukee.
and then
and
sold
kept-
the rights or
and they
whatever.
Yeah, it's like, does Coors own it? Yes. But I imagine they're like, just keep brewing that up there. We'll keep brewing it. Bring Coors down here.
Yingling Flight is fine. It is good, though. I'm getting to the age, Truman, where my only real opinion is Bud Light bad. Man, it's light beer, dog.
I will say
I
Bud
do
Light
not like Bud Light.
tastes like the most like nothing. And that's good at some points, but also annoying at some points. But also, if Bud Light gets warm, it's fucking dog shit ass.
If Bud Light gets any amount of warm at
Yes.
all.
But when it's cold, it tastes like nothing.
Yeah, it tastes like nothing. It's fine.
Yes.
But like, I can drink a Miller Lite if my beer is getting warmer. I can drink a Coors Light if my beer is getting warmer. Like if you're playing like a drinking game, right? And it takes you a while to get to that. It's like, okay.
Right.
But Bud Light, piss.
Right. I just wanted to clarify that we're saying Bud Light bad, but I want to we're not one of those weird ones,
We're not weird about it. It's just Bud Light.
Oh, I feel a little weird right now.
Not
Yeah,
weird.
right, yeah.
There are no all-time bangers that have come out in the last year, like songs.
Yeah. Like songs that like when they come on in like 2035, you'll be like, oh shit, like Fireflies by Owl City. Right now,
I mean,
you're
like, I
oh,
think you would
shit.
recognize Espresso.
Yeah, but that hasn't come out in the last year. I did clarify. I was like, Hot to Go hasn't come out in the last year. Any of the Chopper Run
Really?
stuff? Yeah, no.
Huh.
You'd think.
Yeah, I can't
No,
think of
that
like
came
a.
out- all those
there hasn't been a,
came
like
out
a,
before last summer.
There hasn't been a pop banger in a while. Well, what about
Oh, They Not Like Us.
Yeah, It's Not Like Us.
Oh, I got fucking
Yeah, that's an all-time
Not
banger.
Like Us. Yeah, you're right.
Wait,
Fuck.
look up when that released. It
No,
might have been a sneaky more than a year ago.
It was during the bowling season. I can't remember if it was before or after.
When was Not Like Us released? You might luck out.
May 4th.
He lucks out.
Oh!
He lucks out.
It's a song of summer. That's right.
You lucked out. That's funny.
Holy shit.
Yeah, other than that, I can't really think of any.
Damn, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because he had to have ridden that momentum to get the Super Bowl halftime announcement.
And what's this one about? Last take on the list. Take 108.
I was like, I'm just
about to turn it all around.
I'm about to bust it. I'm about to bust through at work. I'm gonna and just in life. About to.
Have you not been having a good time at work?
No, that's the thing. Is like I've been doing fine.
But you think you're
I'm
about
to
to
really
like,
fucking turn it on. But
you think you're about to go ham?
Good season of Dahm. That's true for us.
You think you're about to sell HVAC units to landlords now?
No, that's not even. That's small.
Could you get
small potatoes?
Could you get a license to have your HVAC stuff supplied to a building in an apartment complex?
I could. Yeah, that's not crazy.
Man, if only one of us knew somebody who builds subdivisions. Might be able to.
Somebody who builds subdivision. Well, fucking.
Might be able to hook you up.
Well, our split system. It's not important. Our split system hookup is just a little weird right now. So you get. I assume you get more splits for single cost big items than for selling a lot of smaller units. Yeah, it's easier to make money on the bigger units, obviously, but it's harder to sell the bigger units also. So you need kind of a steady stream of both of them.
So basically what you need is a new startup lab to have a whole bunch of airflow.
That would be fucking gas and a half, yeah. Tell me if you got one of those. Let me know.
Well, when I become a millionaire and open up my own lab, I'll
Phoenix controls, strobic fans. Nothing better.
Yeah, I'll hook you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall good takes. Highlights some ones that I thought were cool.
How about give me your top 5?
Yeah, absolutely. Top 5 takes. Number 5, Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Like that one.
Obviously, always a good one.
Number 4, Zach Taylor finally fired. I did like that one. That's a real thinker. I think that's a hot take because the Bengals historically like to hold on to guys for too long. But I think that's a good take. Number 3, Turk Wharton disappointing. Unfortunately, that's just on my chopping block.
Flamin' hot take.
Number 2, where were we at here? I had one that I really liked. Where was it? Oh, Rashee Rice not suspended. It's looking like he's not going to get suspended somehow. And they'll just defer it to next year. And number 1 take that I liked from you, Truman. McDaniel fired at the end of the year. I think that's
a good spicy one, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just, this Dolphins team doesn't look like they're putting it together in the right way. Tua needs to retire before he dies on the field.
How many times have we said that?
I
know you keep saying it, but
at no point when either you or me, or you or I, has said Tua needs to retire before he dies on the field. That has never been a joke.
Yeah, right. We've never been joking about it, but
I'm not. He's going to die on the field if he continues. But yeah, because of Tua's injury issues and the overall lack of structure, kind of looks like it for the Dolphins. Yeah, I like Mike McDaniel getting fired at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I'll do my own top 5, I guess. Arby's over Wendy's. That's my 5th spot.
That one.
I like
that's a good one.
Owen convinces himself that Tottenham next manager is going to win a trophy.
Thomas the Frank engine, baby. Doo-doo.
That's so stupid. LJ Snead cut. I thought that was a spicy one. That's a spicy little deeper cut for Chiefs fans. Mahomes 5,000 yards MVP. I mean, that's just, it's good. And Chiefs Super Bowl number 1, dude. Come on.
Oh, I got to give you your ball back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need my bowling ball back. That's my
sitting
hottest
in the back of my car.
Hottest take is I need my bowling ball back from Owen.
Yeah, I'll go grab that.
Thank you. All right. That's it. We're done.
Cool.
Do the outro. Shout out all the patrons over at patreon.com/homedisaster. Shout out Joe. No. Skylar. Dylan. Aaron. Ozzy. Mailbox Kia City now open in the Iron District. Twitter.com/OwenGoshDom. Twitter.com/Steam Machine. YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, comment. Your hottest take. Fucking
for the NFL
disagree with me in the
season,
comments.
for pizza, for Arby's. You'll be wrong about Arby's probably.
Comment your favorite thing from Arby's.
Yo, if you're not commenting the jalapeno Slender Strider.
Oh, I was going buffalo chicken salad.
The jalapeno.
Oh, mozzarella sticks? Oh, fucking potato cakes? Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm getting hungry.
Jamocha shake.
Oh, fuck. I had like a Jamocha shake last week. See you.